Hi, so I'm officially coming out on 16 reasons why I left the essential oil MLM community. Just a few quick disclaimers before I start. I just want to say that there are good things in the oily MLM industry, as well as in my experiences with the oily MLMs. And I also want to say that this is my personal opinion and also my personal choice. If you are a part of an essential oil MLM and you love the essential oils and all that, I'm truly happy for you. I know many amazing people and even aromatherapists that are a part of the essential oil MLM companies, and I respect and I honor that. So I'm not saying that people should leave or whatever. This is just my experience. Quick disclaimer. So let me share with you my 16 reasons. 1, when I first started studying aromatherapy, I realized a lot of the things I learned in the MLM community weren't necessarily true. 2, so there were many practices and ways of using essential oils that were considered to be unsafe by most aromatherapists that a lot of reps from these companies were promoting, and I didn't feel comfortable being affiliated with that. So for those who've been following me, you know that when I started studying aromatherapy formally, I ended up leaving the MLM essential oil community, and then I ended up going back to the oily MLM afterwards, and then officially now I have left again. And partially the reason is 3, the company itself actually promotes a lot of these unsafe practices and ways of using essential oils. And I realized that when I recruited people into buying their own essential oil kit, they get a booklet from the company encouraging them to put essential oils in their water daily and all these other kind of practices. And it was kind of put me in a weird position because I was kind of like, do I say don't do what the company is telling you to do? The company's saying bad information, the company's saying unsafe information. I was really kind of like, I want to promote the company, but at the same time, I can't go through with this knowing that there's so many things that put my potential friends and family and people who I recruit at risk in terms of their safety. And 4, I would look bad as a company representative telling people and my recruitees and my family and my friends to be saying, don't use the essential oil. It's not a good situation to be condemning the company and the practices for the company you're actually trying to promote. Because as an aromatherapist, I felt like it was my responsibility to help people learn how to use essential oils safely, which brings me to 5, I would have to retrain all the people I bring to that company on how to properly use essential oils. And it felt like I'd be like a fish swimming upstream because I'd be training them, but at the same time, the company would be pouring unsafe, unrecommended information towards the people I've already brought into the company. And for the people I'm bringing in, it'd be harder to navigate because then they'd be thinking, well, do I just not listen at all to what the company's saying? Do I just listen to Jesse because it's there things that go together? Like, it gets really complicated. And then for me, it's a lot of energy to be investing into the people I bring in, a low return on investment in the energy. I'm saying, okay, use essential oils like this. Oh no, don't do that. Oh, that's actually not safe. This is actually safe. And then it would become really delicate because then I become everyone's personal unofficial aromatherapist because I'm not their aromatherapist, but I am a aromatherapist, and I see things that are not okay and I feel responsible for it. And it's just this really vicious circle, undo things that are being done, if that makes sense. And from a business perspective, it's not very sustainable because you're supposed to be able to bring people into the company and be duplicatable so then they can do the same thing you do. And not everyone can be me because they haven't really studied to be an aromatherapist. So I projected myself like if one day I have like 1,000 or 10,000 people below me, I can't be that for everyone. Number 6, they weren't necessarily up to par. So through my many years in the essential oil MLM industry, I always thought there was just 1 or 2 good essential oil brands and they were the best and there was none other like it. I believe that most, if not all of the brands were just plain garbage. But as I got more educated, more specifically in my aromatherapy certification, I realized that these companies weren't necessarily up to par. And a lot of the standards and the things that I'd be looking for in the companies when I'm looking for essential oils, those companies actually didn't make the cut, which is funny because I thought they were the only and the best. But in reality, they were lacking a lot of information and a lot of things that I'd be looking for in an ideal company. 7, issues with GCMS reports. So GCMS test reports are very important purity testing when it comes to essential oils. I've talked about this in my Spotting Fake Essential Oil series, so you can check that out after if you want to learn more. But in a nutshell, I believe that every essential oil company should be providing that to their customers, especially if they have the financial situation to do so. So there are MLMs that don't provide the GCMS testing at all. 8, really important for me, and is the reason I actually cannot use a lot of the essential oils from these companies as an aromatherapy student and aromatherapist, is the lack of chemotypes. So different essential oils have different chemotypes. I've talked about this in my Spotting Fakes and Finding Legit Essential Oil series. Feel free to check it out. I talk about it a little bit in detail. But in a nutshell, there are certain essential oils that have different chemotypes. These should be disclosed because it does reflect the safety of different essential oils. And in my opinion, it is a standard piece of information that should be provided to the client when they're buying essential oils, when applicable, which it is applicable in some circumstances and is not at all provided by those companies. 9, I was questioning some of the safety of their products. I've noticed that a lot of these companies aren't really transparent, especially when it comes to different safety information such as the dilution rate. It is understandable when we're talking about formulated products, but for me, when it comes to rollerballs, when a company is not willing to provide that piece of information, being the dilution rate of the rollerballs, for me, it's a really huge turnoff and makes it difficult for me to judge whether or not a product is safe or not for myself. And from my experience, I feel like there are some products that have really high dilution rates in some of these companies, or just aren't sufficiently diluted to be safe or generally safe for most people, like especially for daily usage. Like I mentioned, you guys know that I left the MLM place when I started studying, and then I came back once I was further in my aromatherapy certification. But there was always some products where I was kind of like, I don't know how safe that actually is. And even products where I was like, I really don't believe that's a good idea. I don't feel like it's super safe. I might have had different kind of reactions to it, or I've heard other people having different kind of adverse reactions. So I was really kind of like, I want to promote the products. I believe there's so many other wonderful products, but I feel also bad saying, hey, actually don't buy that product because I've had an adverse reaction. Oh, that product, I actually don't think it's safe. Maybe don't buy it. So again, I was kind of like between a rock and a hard place, I felt like, because there were good things, but there were also really kind of questionable and, well, I'd say kind of bad things. So I felt long term, it really wasn't a workout if I always had this hesitancy about many of the products in terms of being safe. But yeah, if there's any of you guys who have experienced any adverse reactions to any products, especially in the MLM community, feel free to drop it down below so other people can see. Because I have seen different people have adverse or issues coming up when they're using some of the products. A lot of the times I feel like uplines will say, oh, well, our company is so pure and safe. This can't be because of the oil. You're probably just detoxing. That's why you have a rash. Which, just so you know, if you're using essential oils on your skin and you're getting a rash, this is not a detox reaction. This is your body telling you to stop. It's an adverse reaction. I've also had a similar experience where I had a face mask from one of the companies and I used it, and my skin, when I took it off, it was completely red and like raised. Like I could like trace it with a pencil or a pen, like where my skin like raised, like my face was just like red and like blotched all over. But maybe that's how face masks work. I'm not a pro on face masks, but it didn't feel right. And I was told that my body is probably just detoxing. I still don't know to this day what happened. And although I don't know if the reaction I got was related just to the essential oils in the mask, but I do know that this kind of stuff happens a lot, more than I think people like to talk about. And number 10, I wanted to be able to speak up about this and talk about safety, but I couldn't necessarily do that as a rep because remember, that kind of looks bad to be talking against the company or against the products, when most of the time it is just sharing people's real experiences and validating some people's concerns and raising awareness on different safety things people may not have thought about. 11, sustainability. In the MLM community, it's really recommended to be using essential oils constantly, all the time, 24/7, in ways that we normally wouldn't be using as an aromatherapist. And the fact that it takes so much plant material to produce these essential oils, I find it to be concerning and alarming at what rate a lot of people are using essential oils, and I didn't really want to be a part of that, nor to be encouraging that. Because if you're a rep, you have to be spending at least $100 a month to be able to be a part of the business. And if you're not using the essential oils at a really fast rate, then they're going to pile up and you're going to have extra stock and you're just not going to be able to keep up. And for financial reasons, you do want people to be using essential oils a lot and frequently just so that they buy more. So I felt from a sustainability perspective, this really wasn't a good thing for the environment. Considering the fact that after I'm done my current studies, I might not even buy a bottle a month. Number 12, I'm putting all my eggs in one basket. So I'm going to be talking about from a business perspective. I spend a lot of time and energy on YouTube, on Instagram, and really building a brand and videos and content. And if I was really going to get serious about building a business with one of these companies or the companies I was with, I'd really have to be promoting just that company if I really wanted to be able to promote the company and share my stuff and share my products without encouraging them to go to competitors, if that makes sense. And the truth is, there are many good brands out there, as well as brands to obviously avoid. But for me, promoting these kind of companies and knowing that I have other companies in my collection, it felt kind of, I guess, hypocritical in a sense, but not necessarily, because I was open about having other brands, but I was really stuck between, do I just commit to one company or can I just spread my love between other brands like I already am doing? Number 13, I didn't want to lose my business like that. As I did a little more research in the MLM industry, as well as seeing other people's experiences, I've realized that companies can just take away your business like that, when and if they want to for whatever reason. So I didn't want to be spending many years and a lot of my energy to build a company that can be taken away like that. And the fact that I already had things bothering me, like, is this really safe, the things that they're promoting? Do I really fully believe in all the products? Do I really believe that they are all safe? And I'd like to think that this company would never do that, but I just really didn't want to build upon something that I had no control over. Number 14, not a lot of people were really interested in the business anyways, which makes it difficult to build a business if people are interested in joining your business. Again, this is just my experience. Number 15, high turnover rates. So from what I've seen in other people working in the MLM industry, you would really recruit people, but as you'd be recruiting people, bringing people into the company, there'd be a lot of people dropping off. So you'd constantly be needing to recruit and bring people more into knowing the company, becoming part of the business structure, the customer structure, in order to not lose what you've already built. So it's basically like a treadmill, continually running and running and running to bring more people in and in and in, because people are dropping out and out and out. So I didn't want to be constantly recruiting just to maintain a team. And 16, the price. Although I normally don't like to talk about the price of MLMs and comparing it with non-MLM companies, I'll bring it up here just because it was one of my deciding factors. I found that it was getting really expensive to be buying those kind of oils when I can buy them for a lot cheaper elsewhere and still have the quality and purity. Hey, if you've ever left the MLM community, let us know down below, down in the comments, why'd you leave? I'd love to hear it. If you are looking for an essential oil company and you're not sure how to spot fake essential oils, I have a whole playlist dedicated to helping you here. This will help you better spot fake essential oils, as well as give you a better idea of what to look for in real essential oils. If not, if you're interested in different kind of brands, I have a whole playlist dedicated to comparing and looking at different essential oil brands. If you like these kind of videos, feel free to subscribe, and bye.